Okay, let's unpack this artificial intelligence. The pace of progress, it feels almost dizzying, doesn't it?
It really does. Things that seem like science fiction just a few years back are suddenly here.
Exactly. And that speed brings this, well, this mix of anticipation and maybe a bit of unease about where it's heading.
For sure. Which is why today we're diving into some pretty significant warnings about artificial general intelligence, AGI.
Right. And what's really striking is who these warnings are coming from.
Yeah, not just outside critics. We're talking about Demis Hassabis, the CEO of Google DeepMind, a major player.
So the sources we're mainly drawing on are his recent interview with Time magazine.
And also a research paper from Google DeepMind itself. Oh, and maybe just a quick refresher on AGI.
Good idea. So AGI, artificial general intelligence, isn't like the AI we mostly have now, which is good at specific tasks.
Right. AGI is meant to have, well, human-level cognitive abilities.
Mm.
Understanding, learning, applying knowledge.
Across all sorts of different areas, just like a person can. A general intelligence.
Exactly. Which brings us to why these warnings are so interesting.
So that's our mission for this deep dive, really, to understand these core concerns from someone right at the cutting edge.
What's the timeline look like, according to him?
Mm.
And crucially, what are the potential impacts for all of us?
Okay, so digging into that Time interview, Hassabis's main point, it seems, isn't just about developing AGI.
No, it's more about, are we, society, actually ready for it when it arrives?
He puts it very bluntly. His quote is, "I'm not sure society's quite ready for that yet."
And that hits hard, especially when you pair it with his other comment, with AGI is coming very soon.
Yeah, that very soon part. It doesn't sound like some distant future possibility. It sounds imminent.
It really ramps up the urgency, doesn't it? It's not a theoretical discussion anymore.
So how soon is very soon in his view? What's the time frame?
Well, he gives an estimate. He reckons AGI, these systems with human-like thinking, could be here in 5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years. Wow. That's practically tomorrow in terms of societal adaptation.
It really is. Think about how long other major shifts take.
Uh-huh.
And he even adds a little qualifier.
Oh, yeah.
He says, some people say shorter. I wouldn't be surprised.
So could be even less than 5 years, potentially. That really does frame it as a near-term thing. We're not talking decades away.
Absolutely not. And that kind of time scale naturally leads into his main worries, the key areas he flags.
Right. So what are those specific concerns?
Well, first off, he stresses the need for international standards and cooperation, getting countries, companies, researchers all on the same page.
Which makes sense. This tech isn't going to respect borders, is it?
Not at all.
Hmm.
And linked to that cooperation is the whole challenge of, well, control.
Ah, the controllability issue. How do we make sure these super smart systems actually do what we want them to do?
Exactly. How do we keep them aligned with human intentions, human values, especially as they get more powerful?
That sounds like a massive technical and ethical challenge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And then there's the third point he raises, access.
Access, meaning who gets to use this technology?
Precisely. Who will have these AGI systems? Will be concentrated in a few hands or more widely available?
And if it's unequal, well, you can imagine how that could worsen existing divides, create new ones even.
Definitely a major potential issue. And speaking of major issues, that Google DeepMind research paper you mentioned earlier.
Right, the one cited in the timepiece.
It takes these concerns to a whole other level. It explicitly warns, and this is a quote, that AGI may permanently destroy humanity.
Okay, wait. Permanently destroy humanity. That's about as serious as it gets, coming from DeepMind itself.
It is. And they clarify what they mean by severe harm in the paper. It explicitly includes existential risks.
Existential risks. So risks that could literally wipe us out. Extinction.
Yes. Risks that threaten, the continuation of human civilization as we know it. Not just regional problems or economic disruption, but everything.
The gravity of that coming from a leading AI lab, it's hard to overstate.
It really underscores why Hassabis is raising the alarm. But he doesn't just point out the dangers, right? He also talks about potential solutions.
Yes. He offers some ideas using these interesting analogies, like a CERN for AGI.
Yeah, the idea being like CERN for particle physics. You'd have this big international research collaboration. Right. But focused specifically on developing AGI safely.
So pooling global brain power to tackle the safety problems head on, alongside the capability development.
Exactly. Proactive safety research built in, not as an afterthought. Then he suggests something like an IAEA for AGI.
Like the International Atomic Energy Agency, the nuclear watchdog.
Right, an institute whose job would be to monitor AGI development globally, flag potentially unsafe projects, and maybe have some teeth to address them.
So an oversight body, a way to keep tabs on things.
And the third idea flows from that sort of technical UN for AGI.
A broader global body involving lots of countries for governance and oversight.
That's the concept. Recognizing this is a global issue needing, well, global governance structures, a multi-layered approach.
Control, safety, oversight, all on an international level.
Seems to be the core of his proposed strategy.
Okay, so let's try and pull the main threads together from this deep dive. We've got Demis Hassabis, CEO of Google DeepMind,
A key figure in AI development.
expressing some pretty serious concerns about artificial general intelligence, AGI. He thinks it's coming soon, maybe 5 to 10 years, possibly less.
And his biggest worry isn't just can we build it, it's are we as a society ready for the impact? He suspects. Probably not yet.
And the potential impact is huge. We heard the DeepMind paper itself mentioning severe harm up to and including existential risks, humanity-level threats.
Which is why he's pushing hard for getting ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Things like international cooperation, a real focus on safety research, maybe even new global institutions for oversight.
Like a CERN or IAEA for AI, proactive collaborative measures.
Right. Trying to steer this incredibly powerful technology responsibly before it's fully here.
So when you put all that together, it really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
Considering this information, this timeline, these potential risks, what are the conversations we really need to be having right now? Not just the experts, but all of us.
Yeah, what preparations should be happening? At a government level, sure, but also individually.
Collectively.
How might this near future scenario play out in your own life, in your work, your community? It feels like these aren't abstract questions anymore.
Definitely feels like something we all need to start grappling with. And soon.